artillery, basic combat training, graduation ceremony. Today marks the successful completion of the demand requirements of 9.5 weeks of rigorous Army basic combat training for these soldiers. This graduation is your special event to share with your soldiers. You are invited to move out the theater and take pictures as you like, but please do not interfere with soldiers to and from their seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation and playing of the national anthem. The invocation will be given by 1st Battalion, 40th to Artillery Chaplain, Captain Moose.
Let us bow our hearts in prayer. Today, Lord, in this beautiful Good Friday afternoon, I want to ask for special blessings for the soldiers of Bravo Battery, because the journey has been long, and at times weary, exciting, frightening, and today, very fulfilling. These soldiers came from all over as struggling, hope-filled strangers. They developed friendships over these days now past. Now they depart as this nation's newest soldiers. Give them the resiliency to fight bravely, the integrity to live justly, the mercy to serve selflessly, the faith to persevere honorably, and the wisdom to help win peace. Remind us, O God, and make us thankful for parents whose faithfulness never wavered. Give them a safe journey home. For the drill sergeants who willingly passed on their knowledge and experience, for commanders who gave us models to strive for. We thank you for a country built on faith and dedicated to persevering freedom. May our lives be so dedicated from this time forth to those high ideals. Keep us forever, O God, in those strong holy hands that fashion us. For we pray these things in your holy name. Amen.
we must take time to honor those who have served before us. With the military veterans seated among us, please stand and be recognized. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in a round of applause for the military veterans. Thank you for all your help. Ten weeks ago, these 162 warriors seated before you left home, many for the first time, to become part of something bigger than themselves. Although they had arrived as individuals, they are leaving us as a member of a time-honored team. They had worked and succeeded in every task that was put before them, because failure was not an option. As they tell you, it takes more than boots and uniform to make an American soldier. They have been instilled with fundamentals of discipline and embodied the core Army values of loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. These fundamentals and values are acquired and put into place every day through tough, realistic, and safe training. You may have already heard of the stories of the sitting in the gas chamber, the nervousness of throwing a live hand grenade, and the anxiety of repelling from Treadwell Tower, or the pride of passing the final Army physical fitness test. These stories are just a small representation of their overall experience. In just over 67 days, they have trained 5 different weapon systems, foot-marched more than 90 kilometers, learned how to perform life-saving measures, and experience the beautiful and ever-changing weather of Oklahoma. Every training event is a building block for forming a foundation of skills these soldiers will use in everyday life and combat. They have shaped these skills by training like their lives and the lives of the battle buddies depend on them. Furthermore, they understand that the soldier's creed and warrior ethos are not just words to memorize, but words that American soldiers live by. These soldiers have met every challenge head-on and succeeded due in large part to the positive leadership and demanding environment created by our Army's finest non-commissioned officers. These outstanding coaches, mentors, and role models have taught your soldiers the true meaning of discipline and teamwork. The drill sergeant's professionalism, competence, and dedication to standards have made a lifelong impression on your soldiers. Most importantly, these soldiers would not be here today if not for the undying love and support of their family and friends. I applaud you all and ask you that you continue to support your soldiers throughout their military careers. They became American soldiers for you, their family, and friends. Soldiers of Bravo Battery, I extend my gratitude to you for your sacrifices you have made to become an American soldier during a time of war. By taking this courageous step at a dangerous time in our history, you have truly set yourself apart from our fellow citizens as defenders of freedom and the American way of life. You are well trained. You are mentally, physically, and emotionally tough. I will be honored to lead each and every one of you on today's battlefield. Godspeed and good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for our newest American soldiers. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker. Lieutenant Colonel Gloria A. Crooks has been an integral part of today's Army for over 21 years, serving across the force in many units and many different assignments. He is currently serving as the Director of Strategic Communication for the Command General of the Fire Center and Fort Sill. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lieutenant Colonel Crooks.
Distinguished guests, family members, thank you for having me here today to be the guest speaker for all of us before the graduation. That I get an opportunity occasionally to speak, and this audience for me has a special place because 2 decades ago, some change, I'm going to say exactly I was in a very similar situation. I was a basic combat training graduate, and I had no idea who to talk to right then. But I'm going to put myself as if I was sitting in the audience today to prepare my remarks. I thought, what better than to talk to 18-year-old Project Crooks out in the audience and tell them a few things. First, I want to tell them, don't try to bulk up. It's not going to stick on you. Just stay with the money and move fine. Second, you will actually Project Crooks be in the Army 20 years from now. I would have never thought I would be standing here today, but you never know where it takes you. And third, I want to tell you that take a moment today, pause and take stock of how important This is a rite of passage. Rites of passages are in cultures all across the world, and they have very meaningful significance. That every one of the rites of passage that happen, they have 3 stages. First stage is isolation, and we're cutting away from the group that you came from. Some of you could probably relate to that. Coming here, and you get your hair cut. It's even more significant than that, virtual haircut. Second stage, there's some kind of test involved in that rite of passage. And in this case, the last 9 weeks that you just spent has been your test, 9.5 weeks. The third stage is a ceremony of some kind that introduces you to a new identity. Today you have a new identity, whether you realize it or not. Now, what are you coming into? You're coming into the military, the American military, which you may not realize has its own subculture in America. And it is a cross-section of demographics from all walks of life in America that are coming here and sitting in the audience today. And to me, my biased opinion, that's what makes America great, is to see that cross-section of dedication from all across America. Also indicative of that military subculture is it's small. 1% of the population of the United States is in the military. Less than that are in the Army. Wall Street Journal last year did an article that looked at who's even eligible. For those who are of military age that can meet the physical requirements, less than 30% can make it. So the fact that you were able to meet those requirements, and more importantly, you have the will to go through this, is all that more significant. That stage we talked about with tests, this 9 weeks has been a test of your resolve. Now, those family members that just recognized with the applause, that those of you that stand up that actually were in the military at some point, you helped shape that resolve, whether you realize it or not, or whether these graduates realize it or not. You had a very important integral example to them of what they needed to get through this tough situation. So I'd like to give you another round of applause. Now, again, getting back to this idea of a rite of passage, it's like a coming of age or a wedding. A rite of passage has an element of the sacred in it. I'm not going to get too metaphysical on it, but it is sacred in a lot of ways, in that you, sitting in the seat, are forever transformed today. You're transformed in 3 different ways. Physically, from where you started, psychologically, in a lot of ways, to our point, and socially. There's a difference. All right? Physically, how many of the family members that haven't seen their loved ones for 9 weeks have already seen, wow, you lost some weight? Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. And some of you will even notice just at a glance the difference in military barracks. Just how you carry yourself. It's different. You don't know it because you've been living this last 9 weeks, but it's different. So physically you change. Psychologically, you probably didn't have this level of stress before you came to the Army. I'm guessing. Maybe some of you did. But not compressed for the 9 weeks, not on a daily basis. So you are more resilient than you ever thought you would be, which is amazing. And that doesn't stop here. That continues every day further in your military career, whether it's 2 years or 20 years. That will keep growing. And finally, socially, today you are a soldier. Everybody looks at you as a soldier. So, whereas the headlines yesterday might have been, girl from Upper Blackhead, Pennsylvania, saved baby in fire, now it is soldier saved baby in fire. From this point forward, on the other hand, instead of man from Spokane, Washington gets a DUI, is now soldier gets a DUI. Trust me, I get to deal with a lot of media when it comes to this kind of thing. You are a soldier. You recognize that from this point forward. And there's a lot of goodness to that. Today, after you leave here, when you go downtown, you're going to get a lot of people that thank you for your service. They recognize you for what you are. You're volunteers with a servant's heart to this nation that's placing all on the line to do what you do. So take that in. It is a difference in time for you. Now, I want to recognize one group here. I don't think there's any other group that probably experiences this as dramatically as what we call mass skills that they have that we can definitely utilize. And they come from a bunch of different countries. Now, you guys don't know this, you've all been rehearsing up to the minute that we started the ceremony, but I would like to ask those maddening soldiers to stand up this time. Please stand up. If you are a maddening soldier, stand up. Okay. Now, what I want to do is keep standing. As I name the area that you came from, go ahead and sit down. Okay? China, Kenya, Philippines, Haiti, South Korea, American Samoa. Relatives are joining armies together from American Samoa that are here today. They join. But looking at those rites of passage again, those three things we talked about. Nobody probably is experiencing this more dramatically than the Matthews are. First of all, that first stage of cutting away that isolation, many of you Matthews soldiers came from halfway around the world, literally halfway around the world, to be here to be soldiers today. That is significant. Second of all, the idea of a test. It was all hard when starting up a private course 20 years ago to go through basic training, to experience the shocking people yelling at me. Even when I was doing something right. That test had to be compounded when you've never been to Oklahoma before, never seen an armadillo or a prairie dog, and the sight and smell is just completely different from what you grew up with. So, more significant test. That third stage. Your new identity you leave here with includes not only U.S. soldier, U.S. Army soldier, but U.S. citizen. And that is extremely significant. So, I had you stand up, not to really single you out and say, because everybody here is a soldier, everybody went through the same tests in the past. But I want to just use you, Matthew soldiers, as a mirror to reflect upon the own and validate, really, the own commitment that we made, the choices that we made. Because as Matthew soldiers put virtually everything on the line to be able to see today. And we should be looking at that and experiencing the same level of significance for that. So I applaud you all, and I thank you. In closing, and I want to wrap this up, probably folks will want me to get out of the stage pretty quick too. Savor this day, like I said before. You're going to have a few ceremonies, a few graduations in your military career. None of them is going to be like this. This won't be as significant, almost a spiritual way, because of that transformation. All right? So savor the day. Spend some time with your family. You haven't seen them in 9 weeks. They've probably seen the differences in you. Go get to explain it all to them at the old guard kind of time. All right? Enjoy yourself. Before you leave here, get contact information from as many people as you want to maintain contact as you can. Because you never know, like in private court's case, when it's 20, almost 18 years later, you might run into that person in Iraq and do have to be from basic combat training. It's amazing for sure. But above all, this is your first day of your journey as a soldier. So this is the one takeaway I want you to take with you. You volunteered and have now achieved becoming a member of the most powerful group of professionals possibly that the world has ever known. Make sure that you demonstrate your pride in this profession and that you contribute to its honor in everything you do. This will defend, fire strong, army strong.
At this time, Captain McGee will present Lieutenant Colonel Brooks with a tribute declaring him an honorary graduate of class 2015. not interfere with the movement of soldiers to and from their seats. Private Watson joined the Army in September 1942, completed his initial infantry training at Fort Lee, Georgia, and was assigned to Sacred Battalion, 29th Organized Regiment, bound to the Pacific Theater, when he met his untimely demise. His unit was on board the schooner U.S. A.T. Jacob near Cola Harbor, New Guinea, on 8 March 1943, when suddenly they came under a devastating attack by Japanese bombers. After sustaining several direct hits, the ship had to be abandoned even as enemy fire continued to rain down. It was at that precise moment and under those rare circumstances that Private Watson demonstrated the utmost courage under fire. Forsaking any thought of his own safety, he swam back and forth across the deadly scene, dragging his comrades to the feet of their life rafts that they might live. Over and over again, Private Watson's Sill's actions and extraordinary valor and the famous words at the risk of life above and beyond the call of duty certainly warrant his being awarded the Medal of Honor. The Private George Watson Award is dedicated to
Specialist Richard Harris Jr. Columbus, Georgia.
The Distinguished Honor Graduate of the Cycle Award is given to a soldier who demonstrates overall excellence in training and character development throughout the training cycle. The Distinguished Honor Graduate of the Cycle is
PFC Juan Garcia, Guadalupe, California.
the Visibility Award is presented to the soldier who achieved the highest score on the Army Visibility Test. The cycle's recipient scored 336 points, exceeding the maximum of 300 points, and placing her on the Army Visibility Extended Scale. This award is presented to
PFC Courtney Reed, Stockton, California.
the Basic Rifle Marshal Award is presented to the soldier that attains the highest score during live fire qualification with the M16 AT rifle. This cycle's recipient scored 39 hits out of 40. The Marshal Award is presented to
Private Tyler Leonard, Huntington Beach, California.
The following soldiers are designated as honor graduates. Their superior performance has placed them in the top 10% of the graduating class. These soldiers have received a letter of commendation from the 1st Battalion, 40th Artillery Unit, Battalion Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Del Reese, which has been placed in their official files. We ask that you please hold your applause as all honor graduates have been recognized. Honor graduates of class 2215 are
Private Matthew Bolger, Houston, Maine. Private First Class Alexander Kareem, Saratoga, New York.
Private Solomon Conley, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Private First Class John Hughes, Honolulu, Hawaii.
Private William Raleigh, Rochester, New York.
PFC Rico Flores, Jigo Guam.
Private Deron Jones, Richmond, Virginia.
Private Daniel Manning, Alberta, Virginia.
Private Paul McKenzie, Bronx, New York.
Private Manuel Luis Alaia, Puerto Rico. Private Evan Sasso, Manila, Guam.
Specialist Joshua Sampson, Greenville, South Carolina.
Private Kyle Taylor,
EFC Travis Wharton, Lewis, Delaware.
Please give these excellent soldiers a round of applause. And now, for the rest of graduating class 2215, please hold your applause until all soldiers have crossed the stage. First platoon is led by the platoon sergeant.
Drill Sergeant Kennedy Lewis.
The graduates of our platoon are
Private Essence Adams, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Private Justin Adams, Fort Worth, Texas.
Private Daniel Adler, Modesto, California.
Private Desiree Aldria, Azusa, California.
Private Gloria Alvarez Arce, Houston, Texas.
EFC Ray Collins Anderson, Fort Collins, Colorado. Private Rebecca Archuleta Castor, Wyoming.
Specialist Louis John David Brooklyn, New York.
Private Richard Baby, New York City, New York.
Private Arabia Bell, Newburgh, North Carolina.
Private Brad Ladon, Santa Ana, California.
Private First Class Edward Bishop, Rochester, New York.
Private First Class Tony Bishop, Alu, American Samoa.
Private Jemiah Lex, Memphis, Tennessee.
Private Cassie Brazil, Papa Bay, California.
Private Ricky Burrell Jr., Anchorage, Alaska. Private Colby Butler, Sill, Georgia. Private Dylan Carter, Thompson, Georgia. Private Tyler Chambers, Woodbury, Kansas.
Private Tyler Crisell, Lewis, Iowa.
Private Tyler Christopher, Hickory, North Carolina. Private Brandon Hamlet, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Private Jordan Coppins, Baltimore, Maryland.
Private Jordan Corley, Dallas, Texas. Private Rachel Cox, Hudson, California.
Private Jonathan Delgado, Chicago, Illinois.
Private Sarah Godfrey, Beaufort, South Carolina.
Specialist Spidey Dunn, Santa Springs, California.
Specialist Armando Duran, Milesville, Virginia.
Private Jeremy Dyson, Huntsville, Georgia.
Private First Class Kyle Year, Brownsburg, Indiana.
Private Mark Higginson, Prescott, Arizona.
Specialist Timothy Island, Erie, Pennsylvania.
Private Owen Evans, Burbank, California.
Private Steele Plateau, Hello, Lasso, Pompano, American Samoa.
Private Esmond Philpo, Brooklyn, New York.
second platoon is led by the platoon sergeant.
Drill Sergeant Rice.
The graduates of second platoon are
Private Ian Bezos, Fairfield, Delaware.
Private Napatan Hu, all American Samoa.
Private Dallas Gaddy, Tacoma, Washington.
Private Dwayne Campbell, Jackson, North Carolina.
Private Gerardo Romero, Los Angeles, California.
Private Kelly Gomez Figueroa, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Private Kevin Gonzalez, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Private Connie Greer, Lancaster, California.
Private First Class Chenyang Gu, Beijing, Thailand.
Private First Class Bethany Castle, Long Island, New York.
Private Elame Henry, Antonio Otillo, American Samoa.
Private Adrian Protestant, Newly, American Samoa.
Private Chavez Earl, LaGrange, North Carolina.
Private First Class J.E. Wang, Shenyang, China.
Private Asia John, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Private Austin Jenkins, Ocala, Florida.
Private Matthew Jacobs, Detroit, Michigan.
Private Janelle Johnson, Washington, D.C.
Private First Class King Johnson, Marine, Mississippi. Private Ian Jordan, Manhattan, New York.
Private Austin Keith Dawson, South Carolina.
Private James Kelly, Medina, Ohio.
Private Jessica Keyhorn, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Specialist Edward Kibler, Edward Kelly.
Private Stephen Klinger, Salem, Oregon.
Private Robert Blue, Frederick, Michigan.
Private Mariah Lancaster, Florida, America.
Private Ethan Lance, Bradley, Illinois.
Private Ashley O'Connor, New Orleans, Louisiana. Private First Class Michelle O'Brien, Long Island, New York.
Private Brianna Little, Lawrence, New York. Private Miracle Lopez, San Diego, California.
Private Brianna Marshall, Beacon, New York.
Third platoon is led by the platoon sergeant.
Drill Sergeant Franklin.
The graduates of third platoon are
Private Nicholas Langhart, Artesia, California.
Private Ryan Langdon, Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Private Alexander Lee, Elkton, Maryland.
Private Charles Little, Baltimore, Maryland.
Private Juan Lopes, Boston, Massachusetts.
Private J. Martinez, New Haven, Connecticut.
Private Samuel Martinez, Phoenix, Arizona. Specialist George Mason, Santa Clarita, California.
Private Alexander McClure, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Private Ian McCullough, Hartsville, South Carolina.
Part First Class Aaron McPherson, Clarksville, Tennessee.
Private Captain Medic Carroll, Bakersfield, California. Private Lady Linda Wilmington, North Carolina.
Private Stephen Mendoza, Turlock, California.
Private Al Military, Newsletter, Oregon. Private Samuel Merrill, Queens, New York.
Private John Nichols, Yakima, Washington.
Private Cody Morton, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Private Bobby Owens, Basin, North Carolina.
Specialist Roberto Pacheco, Bayamo, Puerto Rico.
Private George Panther, Queens, New York.
Private Anthony Perez, Corona, California.
Private Brett Perez, Bell Park, California. Private Osad Perez, Las Marias, Puerto Rico.
Private Princess Madeline Powell, Manila, Philippines.
Private Naomi Prince, Anadarko, Oklahoma.
Private First Class Alicia Buchan, Los Angeles, California.
Private Stella Rodriguez, Hayward, California. Private Brianna Mendiola, Fresno, California.
Private Lillian Williamson, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Private First Class Asaki Wilson, Brookhaven, Mississippi.
Special Agent Kim Jong Yu, Chungcheong, South Korea.
Private Delicia Young, St. Louis, Missouri.
During the training cycle, there are certain standards that have to be met in order to be distinguished at honor platoon. For class 2215, full platoon has met these standards and is distinguished as honor platoon. Full platoon is led by the platoon sergeant.
Drill Sergeant Adams.
The graduates of the full platoon are
Private Samantha Palafox, Del Rio, Texas. Private Desiree Patrick, Havelock, North Carolina.
Private Marlies Perez Rivera, Isabela, Puerto Rico.
Private Jesse Mosey, Huntsville, Alabama. Private Rohar Robert, San Diego, California. Private Roy Ramsey, Otis, Oregon.
Private Sean Randall, Los Angeles, California.
Private Robert Robertson, Carroll, Alabama.
Private Louis Rodriguez, Patterson, New Jersey.
Private Amanda Rotika, Trainer, Pennsylvania.
Private Micah Rosario, Bronx, New York. Private Francisco Sanchez, Phoenix, Arizona.
Private Dalton Schnelly, Grange, Missouri.
Private Daniel Seville, Sacramento, California.
Private Ansel Sim, Seoul, South Korea.
Private Elijah Smith, Tulsa City, Indiana.
Private Jessica Smith, Independence, Missouri.
Private Arnika Sparks, Medina, Ohio.
Private Nicholas Spence, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Private Brendan Stewart, Jacksonville, Florida. Private Letty Thomas, newly American Samoa. Private Robert Thompson, Columbia, Washington.
Private Noy Kuzma, Long Beach, California.
Private Brandon Tarazi, Torrance Palms, California.
Private Teresa Miguel Gonzalez, Paris, California.
Private Anthony Maibal, Wyoming, American Samoa. Private Peter Venegas, Phoenix, Arizona. Private Jacob Bennett, Tallahassee, Michigan.
Private Julissa DJ, Bronx, New York.
Specialist David Walker, Tooele, Washington.
And demonstrate great effort to prepare these soldiers to meet the challenges of military duty around the world. The cadre, which is the backbone of Bravo Battery, are Battery Executive Officer, First Lieutenant Aaron Ballard. First Sergeant Alexander Galaxy. Training Room SEO, Sergeant Dominique Harris. The drill sergeants assist individuals in their efforts to become highly motivated, well-disciplined, physically and mentally fit soldiers, capable of defeating any enemy on today's modern battle. The drill sergeants who are the strength and support of the Bravo Battery are 1st Platoon Sergeant First Class Lewis, assisted by Staff Sergeant Andrews and Staff Sergeant Porter. 2nd Platoon Sergeant First Class Rice, assisted by Sergeant Brown. 3rd Platoon Sergeant First Class Franklin, assisted by Staff Sergeant Turner and Staff Sergeant Valverde. 4th Platoon Sergeant First Class Adams, assisted by Staff Sergeant Banderos and Staff Sergeant Hank. At this time, Captain Moody will come forward to present the Drill Sergeant Cycle Award. The Drill Sergeant Cycle Award is presented to the drill sergeant who has best displayed the qualities of leadership and devotion to duty during the training cycle. This award is presented to Drill Sergeant Landeros. In recognition of her performance, Drill Sergeant Landeros will receive an Army Seated Medal and the Drill Sergeant of the Cycle Trophy. Drill Sergeant Broughton is now presenting a bouquet of flowers to Drill Sergeant Lander's spouse. For the moral support she has given to the battery and Drill Sergeant Landeros during this training cycle. At this time, Colonel Thompson is now presenting Drill Sergeant Landeros a 434 to the Brigade Point for Excellence. Drill sergeants follow a set of fundamental beliefs that guide them in training soldiers. The principles are set forth in the Drill Sergeant Creed.
I am a drill sergeant. I will assist each individual in their effort to become a highly motivated, well-disciplined, physically and mentally fit soldier, capable of defeating any enemy on today's modern battlefield. I will instill pride in all I train, pride in self, in the Army, and in country. I will insist that each soldier needs to maintain the Army standards of military bearing and courtesy, consistent with the highest traditions of the U.S. Army. I will lead by example, never requiring a soldier to attend any task I will not do myself. But first, last, and always, I'm an American soldier, to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. I am a drill sergeant.
Ladies and gentlemen, an American soldier's first act is to swear to defend our Constitution. Just as the Constitution of the United States is the cornerstone of our society, the soldier's oath is the backbone of the Army's commitment to preserving it. Graduates, please stand for the reaffirming of your oath.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the honor song.